Hey, pal. Hey, my man.
Welcome to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hi, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie here. We give our experience with it growing up. We discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Kino rating. Wow. Today we're discussing the 1998 thriller Wild Things, starring Matt Dillon, Denise Richards, Neve Campbell, and Kevin Bacone. All-star 90s lineup. King, how you doing today, bud?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm feeling cracked out as usual. I feel crazy. Sometimes I think maybe there's something in this apartment that I'm in that is causing me to just lose my mind, you know?
Evil spirits.
So it could be spiritual. This could be a spiritual attack.
The God hand.
We could be talking a demonic entity.
The God hand is after you.
Yes, I have that little tattoo on me. I've been marked.
What's that? The Bluetooth tattoo?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw the funniest shit
I'm Bluetooth
today.
marked.
I was driving home from work, and you ever see like motorcycle drivers ride past each other on like the highway or just the road in general? Like they always give this like little side wave.
Yeah.
Like they have their hands on the handlebars, so they have to like put their hand down to do this wave instead of just like waving them like idiots, like regular type wave. Anyhow, I'm behind this Jeep Wrangler, and I'm sorry to any Wrangler people out there, but I'm driving behind this dude, and another Jeep passes him, but it's a Jeep truck. Dude has his window down, and he gives him like a motorcycle like wave. I'm just behind him, and dude, I couldn't help myself. It was like a knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, gay.
I guess that's a thing with Jeep people too.
I guess
they give a wave.
Oh yeah.
But then it begs the question: how many Jeeps are we talking about? Is it every model of Jeep? Because if it's a Jeep truck as well, does that count?
So it's only the Wranglers, because I had a Grand Cherokee for a while and I never got waved at.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I drove by I should just drive by every Silverado that I see and just like do like a super happy like high intensity wave. Like, I thought it was like the dumbest shit.
The opposite.
Yeah.
I have the opposite of that, where I have some person that lives within 30 seconds of my house somewhere.
Yeah.
And they have the exact same car as mine. Exact same blue Hyundai Accent.
Do you wave at them?
I give them menacing looks. Because I feel like they're my rival.
There can only be one.
There can only be one.
One blue Hyundai Accent that's stick in your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You're
this is real schizophrenic territory, but I was during my night walks.
During your night walk era?
I saw it on the street one time, like parked. And you better believe I looked in there. Is it manual too? It wasn't. It was automatic.
Yeah, dude.
So I feel like I have the upper hand.
Weak. Anyhow.
Manual chat, stay winning.
What's going on? What's going on in your world?
Nothing. We're just trying to merge with AI still, We're just getting more done on the system. I'm building systems. I got a Slack meeting tomorrow.
No shit. With who?
Yeah. They're coming in the office, and it's like a Slack lunch. It's probably some kind of thing where they're pushing their software. So they're coming into these, corporations, and they're giving some kind of presentation on their features and whatnot. Yeah. And somehow I got invited to this.
And you're going to head it. You're going to just chime in and be like, yeah, all right, hold on. Let's talk. Let's see down to brass tacks here. Can you do this? Yeah, dude, Slack actually is a good software. At my new job, I proposed it. I'm like, hey, if we ever need, it doesn't really work because there's only like 13 people in my company. But I'm like, dude, if we ever need some kind of internal channel just to bullshit, like, yeah, well, you just walk down the hall. It's like, you don't really need it.
Yeah.
It is a really good platform, I will say. Not to nerd out.
I agree. And then also, but the question is, how much does it cost?
Right. Exactly. Probably not.
Like these enterprise subscriptions are probably a lot of money for a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, I'm just going to take everything that you're talking about in this meeting tonight, Slack person. I'm just going to vibe code it myself and give it to Dom for $0. How's that sound?
You just have AI do it. Hey, write me up
Yeah.
a software similar to Slack, and then it just spits it out in 30 seconds. Probably could do that.
I actually asked it that, and it was like, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more complicated.
I figured. Anyhow, this is going to be a long one. Let's talk about this movie, Wild Things. Tell me about this movie.
This Chad high school guidance counselor seems a little too friendly with his extremely attractive students. His life is then turned upside down when one of them accuses him of rape, only to have another student come forward with the same story. At the trial, the lies come apart and the man is acquitted. After a large settlement, it turns out that all three people were working together in order to unlock a trust fund from the mother's clutches. As the story progresses, none of the people involved can trust each other as they all have their ulterior motives. In the end, it turns out to be the most unlikely of people behind the whole thing.
Dude.
Now, here we are. Wild Things.
I want to just point
Ladies
out
and gentlemen, get your books, Laddie. Get ready to put the books over your cock to hide the fact you have a boner.
Dude, I want to point out first things first that like they nailed the character name. So Kelly Van Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, what better name of this rich Florida? Like, it's assumed, I don't know if it's like West Palm Beach. They came up with some town name, but it's like, yeah, the Van Ryan clan, okay? They got millions of dollars. We got to exploit them. You know? It's like perfect writing.
We talk about names a lot and how goofy they are, but this movie really gets it.
Oh, it nails it.
It's one movie that actually has good names, yeah.
Yeah, this movie right here probably isn't as good as I'm going to hype it up to be. I know, I'm watching it back, and my wife's like on the couch, and she's like, oh, you're watching this movie? And I'm like, yeah. And then every 2 seconds, she's like, that's cheesy. That's dumb. I'm like, bro, are you going to talk or are you going to just watch the movie? Anyhow, ends up liking it in the end. She's like, oh, wow, I was not expecting that twist. But this is like, I don't know what it is, man. This is my movie. I love this movie. It's a cool, twisty thriller kind of thing. I think the writing's pretty sound. Mm-hmm. It just, maybe it's more nostalgia based, but now, I'm never guilty of being a gooner. I do not goon, but I will say, I'm always asking, is she hot? Denise Richards in this movie is about as peak as you're going to get, right? Like, this movie comes out, what is this, 89? No, I'm sorry, 98. Yeah. And I'm 11 years old, right? So I'm thinking this is like the first time I saw Kelly Kapowski when I was like 7. I'm like, this chick is about as hot as you can get. Like absolute boner maxing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like Denise Richards here is 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. But when I think of Denise Richards in her prime, I think this movie, Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
And I can't really think of an it girl like this.
Nowadays?
That's been in the game recently, yeah. The last one I can think of is Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know, what was that, 2012 or whatever? She was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. She's top tier. Yeah, that was top tier.
It was a while ago.
Bro, that's like 14 years ago, dude.
That was a while ago there, yeah.
Time is a flat circle.
And when I say it girl, I mean like Pam Anderson level.
Yeah.
White hot for a couple years. I think Megan Fox when Transformers came out, right?
Yeah.
And so that's who Denise Richards was in 1998.
Her piss is hot. Have you seen her recently?
Yeah, I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, my wife's like, do you know who she's with now or was with? I'm like, oh, no, it's Charlie Sheen. I'm like, oh my God. Whew. Charlie Sheen.
They're divorced. I mean, they went through some wild, like, paparazzi, TMZ type escapades, horrible divorce type shit. I mean, it's Charlie Sheen. He's completely insane. So
fucking nuts, bro. What a lad.
But she's in the documentary. She looks completely crazy, I guess. But honestly, dude, like, I guess would, like.
Would. Yeah, I mean.
We're talking about 1998, dude. It's like, that's a long time ago now.
And she's got this swagger about her, too. And not for nothing. She plays like the bitchy role, like the stuck up, whatever in this role. But Starship Troopers. I mean, she's, the perfect cadet. What's the character's name? The guy in Starship Troopers?
I don't know. The actor's name is Casper Van Dien, I think.
Yeah, but what's the character's name?
Johnny Rico.
Johnny Rico. God, what an awesome name, dude. But anyway, so she's like, yeah, she's dating Johnny Rico, right? And it's like, this is, yeah. But she plays a, kind of the opposite role there. But yeah, Denise Richards in this time frame is meta. You recall the first time watching this movie?
I didn't actually watch this movie till later. I forget when, maybe 10 years after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just randomly watching movies that I never watched before. I feel like this is a movie that my dad had on,
mm-hmm.
and I just awkwardly left the room because I'm not trying to watch this movie with my friggin' parents,
How old do you think you were?
Back then, I mean, I was 14 when this came out, so probably I was 14 or something.
Weird.
I remember the marketing of this movie when it came out, though. I can tell you that. And they're just throwing these commercials on TV with hot Denise Richards in just straight into my 14-year-old subconscious.
Oh boy!
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough because remember, this is 1998. This is before you had high-speed pornos and all that stuff on the internet. You didn't have the internet.
No,
you had some kind of pre-internet awesome era where it was nothing but horrible websites and the most autistic
AOL
people possible.
AOL chats.
Yeah. Normies were not allowed on yet. And, your avenues for boner maxing were basically like Skinamax and finding pornos in the woods.
That name. Finding pornos in the woods. Dude, there was an era, man. There was a time. There was a time.
This is where it's like this movie actually seems softcore pornish.
It is.
Some of the scenes.
It's a bit aggressive.
And they're hitting your teenage subconscious with these images of Denise Richards coming out of a pool. You're like,
what do I do?
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, dude, I was like 11, I think, when this came out. And I vaguely recall like a bit of hype around this movie. It's hard to remember so far back, but yeah, I had like 3 older brothers. So this was like the badass high school movie that came out or whatever. But I'd say I probably saw it, right around then when it released. But I just remember it had a certain swagger about it, a je ne sais quoi, if you will. Definitely a lot of hype around it. Was the marketing like a big thing back then? You can remember?
Well, the marketing, I actually took the time earlier today and looked up commercials for this. Like commercials for this movie, but 30-second commercials. But yeah, it's insane. It's well, one of the things was that, Kevin Bacon is in this movie. And he's the guy, the number one guy on like his name being announced on the title cards and all that. I'm like, Kevin Bacon isn't in this movie till later. And in fact, I feel like they don't really market him as the lead. The push of this movie was you got Neve Campbell and Denise Richards and they're hot.
Neve Campbell is a big name right there in 98. But I don't know if you know this or not. Kevin Bacon was a producer on this movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he was kind of a big deal in terms of getting this made, the direction of it. So, yeah, facts. So I guess he was probably pretty big back then.
Well, I was looking at the people in this movie. I think to myself, Kevin Bacon, he's the only A-lister.
Yeah,
I feel like in this movie, but that's not what this movie's about.
Well, how about Matt Dillon?
Thought about that. I don't know if I'd call Matt Dillon. He had his time. Okay, Matt Dillon's time was right around this point where it was this movie there's something about Mary. But what else is he be in? Like off the top of your head, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's not. I don't consider him like an A-lister. Like Kevin Bacon is an A-lister.
Yeah, literally me character. But who are you in this movie?
I didn't really vibe with anyone. Like I couldn't. I couldn't. I did the.
You're not
Swamp Lady's son,
Duquette. Yeah, Swamp Lady's son, Walter.
The Swamp Lady's son, Walter, who is just gets a new truck at the end. That's me. Yeah.
I kind of vibe with Sam. Not to the degree of banging high school girls like he's doing, but I'm definitely down for some deep sea sailing. I can get behind that.
Yeah,
that's a vibe. Some of these fun facts, dude, these are pretty crazy. So I'll go down this list because there's a lot of shit here. But before filming of an outdoor scene by the river, a gaffer was fixing the lights and noticed something floating in the nearby river. It was a dead body. The police were called out, and when they arrived, they anchored it to the dock, out of sight of camera. They were moved after the scene was shot. Couple things here. Dude, like, think about that. This is just typical Florida stuff. Shooting a movie.
We got a shot.
Yeah, we got to get the shot. Hey, hold on. Just move it over. We got to get the shot. It's like, bro, what? Like, that should be shutting down production for the day, you'd think. Kind of wild. It's an active crime scene. It's just crazy. Anyhow, Kevin Bacon said in an interview that he and the other cast members had trouble keeping track of the lines with all the plot twists of the script. To determine their motivation in each scene, the cast had to gather with the director, writers, and producers to establish the sequence of events, Bacon said. We'd sit in rehearsals trying to piece together what was going on in the script, whom we were lied to about, and it just gets so complicated we have to just stop and rest. Now, I'm thinking to myself, all right, is it that difficult for the director to be like, okay, look, the three of you are having like a love triangle. You're trying to gas everyone up and just steal the mom some money. Not that complicated. P.S. Girls, you don't know about Kevin Bacon. He's in on it. Kevin, you and Matt are doing something on the side. Done. End of story. Is it that difficult to you?
I hear what you're saying, but then what if they film it out of order? Like, I assume that they do.
Yeah.
And
I guess so.
Initially, when I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, how could they be confused? But then if they got like filming a scene in the middle of the movie,
right,
and you're like, Kevin Bacon, what's his motivation here? Blah blah blah. Like,
well, you just
was kind of confused.
All right, dude. In this scene, P.S. She doesn't know that you're gonna screw with her, so go up to Neve Campbell and basically give her a ton of shit and tell her that she screws this up. Or she doesn't come clean, that, you're just acting as if she doesn't know you're part of the gig and you're going to take her down. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't think it was that difficult to follow. Anyhow, in an interview with Maxim magazine, Kevin Bacon noted that he has a no nudity clause in his contract and that he was a producer of the movie. So technically, he could have sued himself. In reality, he said he has a full frontal nudity was accidental. His nether regions were never supposed to show up because he thought Matt Damon was blocking the shot. But director John McNaughton told the Huffington Post how Bacon's manhood made an unintentional cameo. Kevin steps out of the shower, Matt throws him a towel, and he catches it and covers him. And he did that in every take but one. It was a little miscue and it didn't cover him. When McNaughton saw a rough cut of the movie, he objected that editor Elena Maganini had included that very shot. But she told him, it's not fair. You guys have sex scene after sex scene and topless babes. This one's for us. McNaughton agreed, but still had producer Stephen A. Jones ask his friend Bacon for permission to use the take. What I heard from Steve is that Kevin asked, how do I look? Steve said, you look fine. And so Kevin went, no problem. Bacon later commented on Total Film that I didn't think any more about it, so I was shocked, really shocked, when everyone kept on about it after the movie's release. It really wasn't a big deal, he said jokingly. That's just the camera putting on a few pounds. In 2015, Bacon shot a famous, funny Free the Bacon PSA, encouraging more male actors to do full frontal movie scenes. Now, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are you better have a decently sized cock because if you're an actor and you don't, let's say you have a tiny dick, it could potentially destroy your aura, which would make any future roles in which you're kind of a tough guy be unbelievable in the future.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
No.
Here's a perfect example. Michael Fassbender, the movie Shane. This guy's full frontal nudity. It doesn't matter. Why? Because this guy's got a giant cock.
Fair enough.
So
Fassbender
anyone that does nudity, it's like, huh?
Well, Fassbender, yeah, he gets over. But no, it's a good point. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm kind of like indifferent when it comes to the nudity on camera. The whole Bob's thing with chicks. It doesn't really, I'm indifferent, dude. If it's there, Bob's Sheen. If it's there, whatever, if it's covered up, no big deal. It's just assumed. So it doesn't really change anything for me in terms of like the scene or whatever. Not to sound like a movie nerd, but yeah, it's just for him to be
gay after seeing that scene.
Not really. I just think it's just like this dude. I'm like, all right, well, didn't need to have that in there, but screw it. They went with it, so makes no difference.
did it seem like strange that they threw it in? Because
it was a little bit.
Why is this dude just
it wasn't,
showering in his house?
It's like, yeah, well, it's the whole idea is he surprises them, but yeah, I think it was like just not necessary. But I think this is going to make more clarity when I bring up the next point here. So, director John McNaughton said that when making movies with sex and nude scenes like this one, the first thing he asks his actors is, "Have you read the script?" All nude and sex scenes are in his scripts, and he doesn't want to pull a trick on the actors. He has often found that if the actors are well prepared in advance and don't feel exploited, they have very little issues. McNaughton said, "Our director of photography, Jeffrey L. Kimball, knew how to make them look fabulous. No one could make women look more beautiful than him." Now, so it's just like this guy's just saying, okay, this is the art piece of it, which is fine.
Bro, it's art.
It's art. Hey man, you gotta have the boobs, you gotta have the dicks in there, sure. But this reminds me of the first movie I ever worked on. My point is, I think it's just in some of these dudes' heads. Like some of them are gooners, but some are like, okay, this is like art, fine, whatever. But the first movie I ever worked on, right? I was talking to the director of photography after we started shooting stuff, and there was like a B-list actress in this movie they pulled in, and it was just one of those, thrasher zombie movies or whatever. A lot of green actors on this set. Anyhow, so the director of photography and I start to hit it off or whatever, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna ask the girls to get topless," and I'm like, because it's like a camping, like high schoolers camping thing, kind of whatever. And I'm just looking at him like, bro, I don't think that's gonna get over, dude. I don't think they're gonna do that. And he's like, "No, dude, trust me, it's gonna make the movie so much better." I'm like,
yeah,
I still don't think you're gonna get over on that. And then sure enough, 30 like the next day, it was like, "Nah, dude, they're not doing that shit." I'm like, are you surprised?
But if you could pull your cock out, that'd be
yeah, right. Like, dude, I don't think it's gonna get over. But yeah, I don't know. For me, in terms of that the whole nudity thing, it's like, I don't know. I think it makes some movies more trashy, and it's just like you're just using that card to just get more views, I guess. I don't know. I mean, especially back in the 90s. 2000s.
I agree. It's a marketing gimmick. It doesn't really add much to the movie. I mean, I guess that's part of the appeal of this movie and everything. But if you think about other movies like Varsity Blues or something, right? Varsity Blues has that scene where the chick gets naked with the whipped cream and all that jazz, and it's like, oh, yeah, Titanic, gets over because the woman's being drawn nude.
It's tastefully done, right? Exactly. Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't know, man. It doesn't really. I don't think it's necessary. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me. But yeah, this is one of those movies where it's like they went all in on it, and I don't know, like you said, dude. It's not like they had A-listers it was going to affect their careers, aside from Bacon. But anyhow, Robert Downey Jr. was originally cast as Sam Lombardo, but had to drop out. Downey was struggling with substance abuse issues at the time, and the studio balked at the significant insurance costs. Now, can you imagine our boy, Robert Downey Small Jr. playing this role? Like, Dillon has this perfect sleazy character, and it's like where you kind of like trust him at the beginning, and then as the movie goes through, like, oh God, he's how ultimate scumbag, but he plays it so well. It's like, I'm not sure anyone else on earth could do this role better than him at this time. And not to mention Dillon's 6'1", just saying.
Well, I actually think what you're saying is legitimate, where you're talking about 6'1". And the reason I'm saying that is because Matt Dillon looks like an actual like Giga Chad in this movie.
Right.
And it plays that Denise Richards, a Giga Stacy, is trying to get with him.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas would that work with would it be believable with Robert Downey Jr.? Is he not Chad enough? These are the questions we must ask as true visionaries, true reviewers of movies. Is there any kind of bias that you have against Downey Jr.?
No, dude. I always talk shit on Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a good actor, but I just hate how, and I said this when we did Iron Man, but he just never came out of that character, right? Also, not to mention, okay, so I've established I think he's a good actor, but I just want to point out, Neve Campbell's 5'7", okay? Robert Downey Jr. is 5'8". How's that going to work?
It would look awkward when they're having a threesome.
And Denise Richards is 5'6". So, I'm not coming at the man's height. I'm just saying it wouldn't work. Yeah. So great. Good thing that worked out. Good thing he got sober. But the fact remains, Dillon, I'm not sure anyone else is going to kill this role the way he did. Let's get into some of these Kino scenes, man, because we got a lot to cover. So you get this perfect 90s opening. They have these aerial shots of the swamps, these like golf courses and all this shit, this like Bay Town in Florida. And I'm like, this is so epic. The writing on the lettering on the movie credits, and it's like,
the font
song is like, burn. I'm like, this, and it plays throughout the whole movie. I'm like, this is such a sick song. I don't know why. I just think it's so cool. But yeah, it's a nice opening. But then, we get introduced to Matt Dillon, who's walking through the school, I guess Sam Lombardo. And he's walking through the school, and it's weird because it's the camera and everyone's looking at him. I'm like, who is this person they're looking at? And then it reveals him. And it's like, was Matt Damon the guy in Hollywood in this era? It makes me think. Like the good looking guy, not necessarily the A-list actor, but was he like the go-to sexy guy?
I don't know, dude. Like I said, I think I can only remember this dude being in this movie and Something About Mary. And I'm sure if I delved into the dark recesses of my mind, I could come up with, like he was in a Friday the 13th movie, I think.
Yeah.
But I can't really think of anything else. So like he had a small run, and I believe that was it.
Well, they just probably called him.
I go on this guy's IMDb. I'm sure it's filled with movies, but
yeah, but they called him at the right time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And not to mention, dude, there's this scene where he's like the sailing coach, kind of based, like I mentioned earlier, but it's like this guy fits that role with like the aviators, the short shorts. I'm like, yeah, this again, great casting. This movie is very well casted. I will say that. And like I said, like the big thing I like about it is the writing, like all the thriller aspects and all the twists and turns, which I think is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get down to brass tacks here. If you're a high school teacher, right, and this chick asks you for a ride home, you gonna put yourself in that situation? Like, bro.
Maybe if it's Denise Richards.
Put yourself
but
up.
Like,
never goon.
Let me, obviously it's a horrible idea, but they had been, I believe the plan was in action at this point too.
True. Yeah. In hindsight, you look back on it and it's like,
here's something to think about. Why does a single Chad become a high school guidance counselor in his 20s, if not to bang jailbait? Think about that. Let's ask it from the other direction.
Okay.
When you were going to school, was there any like Chad dude teachers?
Not that I can remember. I do remember in high school, like some of the substitute teachers the girls would hit on.
Mm-hmm.
They would think like they're cool because they're like good looking. I don't know. But yeah.
They're older.
Not too old. Yeah, none of the older ones. These guys were like just starting out substitute teachers. So
now, this might be a weird question, but if you're a guy, what's the experience like when you have a guy teacher?
What do you mean?
But like every one of your teachers is some woman. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, I had a few guy teachers, but those young ones that I was referring to, like, yeah, I typically would just hit it off and be like, yo, dude, it's just like I'd get away with like a ton of shit, which is cool because they were like just, they're trying to be that cool young teacher. So I'm like, all right, let's get away with dipping in class or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I just think that the whole education system is interesting to me in this movie, the scope of the 1998 education world, because for one thing, what is he, a guidance counselor /
sailing coach?
Sailing coach? Like there was always like a football coach or something that was also a teacher or some kind of sports coach.
Right.
And they really wanted to be a sports coach.
Right.
But part of the deal was they also had to be a teacher or something.
Yep.
I don't know the rules. And you're like, oh, I guess this dude's a teacher too. And it always cracked me up. It's like there's never just like a guy teacher. Although there was in my high school, but he was very flamboyantly gay.
I see what you're saying in terms of, okay, yeah, they had to be, yeah. Typically the gym teachers are the coaches for different sports, but yeah, I think I had a guy teacher, but he was like the head baseball coach and he was, science or something. But yeah, it's a good point. I never really like looked at it that way. But also, I want to point out that they get into this Jeep, right? Into Lombardo's Jeep. And they start zipping back. He's dropping these kids off. And it's like, they hit you with these two 90s bangers right off the bat. It's like Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. And then it's like right after that, Why Can't We Be Friends by Smash Mouth. I'm like, all right, this is very nostalgic, very epic.
Yeah. By the way, he's actually playing that on his radio in the car.
Yeah.
Because he pulls up to the girl's house and he turns the car off and the music stops playing. I'm like, well, oh, this dude's just blasting Smash Mouth. What an absolute king. Like, this guy is a guy that gets it.
Peak Smash Mouth era, bro. So then the girls show up to wash the next day, I guess, to wash his Jeep. And it's like this dime just walks out doing the walk of shame with her dress on out of Lombardo's bungalow, right? I'm like, this dude is just drowning in ass. Like, what a scene. And then the girls get pissed at her and she gets pissed at them. Like, it's so funny, dude. It's like these teenage girls and the girl gives her like this snide look.
Tell me about the life of a Chad. You know, this guy has so many women options. He finds it mundane. And then he decides to go niche with Neve Campbell. Right? Like, he's getting so much vagine thrown at him that he's like, I've seen it all.
Yeah, he's had the country club girls. Now he's got to go for the swamp rats.
Yes, exactly. And it's like using the situation to his advantage. He wants to marry rich. That doesn't work out. So then he starts setting up schemes with them.
Yeah, dude,
you know,
so wild. But it is funny when you look back on it after watching the film. It's like looking at this guy and his motives and stuff. It's like this dude might be like some weird mastermind, bro. It's like this dude is completely unhinged. It is hard. The way that I think that Matt Dillon plays him, it's like, dude, you never really know his true motives, even up until the end. You know what I mean? Because he gets pissed about Kelly dying, right? And it doesn't it doesn't seem that he has too much of a relationship with what the hell is Neve Campbell's
Susie
name? Susie. And it's like you don't really have like feel a connection there. If so, it almost felt like that him and Kelly were going to kill Susie. Do you get that at the end there?
Yeah.
Because then obviously, you know, spoiler alert, that Susie kills him.
Well, let's take it back for a second. Let's go back to this car wash scene. Like they're turning up the volume on the sexiness.
Right.
But one thing I noticed was the other girl that was with Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Like, did you notice that
I did.
There's not any overweight people in this whole movie?
Yes.
And everyone's good. Like, even the mids are ultra hot in 1998. Was this a thing? Do we need to go back in time to 1998 and kind of investigate this for ourselves? Was everyone just good looking, or is this just a Hollywood effect?
The mids were hot. Yes, dude. This is just Hollywood, man. I'm sure that there were some wonkies back in the 90s too, bro. This is just Hollywood. But it's a good point, though.
But they didn't have overweight people, though, I don't think.
No, didn't exist. So it's a weird transition after this, though, right? It's like you're hit with Kelly going into this house and coming onto him, and then she immediately comes out, you know, clothes are ripped up, and she just starts running home. You're like, dude, what the hell just happened? Like, she was all over this dude. It's kind of weird, right? And then it immediately just hits you in the face with the mom screaming. You're like, what in the hell is going on? And she's just banging some like young pool hand at her house. Kind of wild, dude. Hits you out of nowhere. It's like, what's going on here, big guy?
Pretty aggressive sex scene. Yeah, this is where you're watching with your parents, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll leave.
Yeah, kind of weird, but it's an interesting transition. So Kelly's mom. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
There's so many weird things that you're right. The transition is weird, where she just pops out and she's like, her clothes are torn, and your mind. I've seen so many things in movies, so many twists and turns, that this is a part where your instinct is screaming at you, hey, something's not right here.
Yeah.
Something weird's going on, right?
Literally. But no. What I was saying is, so Kelly's mom, she's giving her shit about, not going to school or something. And while she's shooting this shotgun, she's like shooting clay pigeons or something. And which, by the way, that shotty, do you know what that was? It's like one of those high-tech shotguns from back in the 90s.
I'm not aware. I didn't really pay too much. My vision zoomed in on the fact that she wasn't wearing ear pro. She's just destroying her ears.
Go on.
She's shooting this shotgun, and it's like, yeah, that's going to be extremely loud. That's going to hurt your ears. And she just absolutely no flinch whatsoever, just taking it.
Yeah. You got to look up
Incredible.
that on that IMDb for guns, what that gun is. But so Kelly goes, they're arguing, walking back to the house or whatever. And Kelly goes, which one of your deckhands is that? And her mom goes, whichever one I want. And every time I see this movie and I hear this line, it just like makes me.
They're not painting the mom in a real great light.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, like look at this character, but the delivery of this line and this line just being written in there, it kind of drives me crazy every time because you're immediately expecting there to be this, animosity between the mom and the daughter, when in actuality she tries to help her out through the rest of the movie. But like the way it's like sounds very high school. She's like, whichever one I want. And I just hate this line, dude. I don't know why. I just had to point it out. Like drives me crazy every time I see this movie. Anyhow, so
Whichever one I want.
anyone I want. So interesting one because you really break down the detective side of things here, right? So right away, it's established that this detective, Gloria Perez, right, who's, I guess, Duquette's partner, she smells bullshit on the story, right? And she's like, I feel like it's kind of obvious. You know what I mean? When she's like, oh, well, she doesn't believe that he was raped or that she was raped by Lombardo. Like you can kind of see it. I don't know if it's overacting by Denise Richards, but she calls it right away. And she even makes the point when the captain says that he's had half the chicks in Palm Bay, or whatever the hell it is, right? So it's like it makes you question, like, what is this guy's motivation? When you said about the Chad who's like banged every chick, right? It's like maybe it is possible because if he's had every chick, right, he might even do something sleazy like this.
Maybe I'll rape someone. Yeah, it's a hedonic treadmill.
Right.
You get tired of it. Well, regular sex isn't working. I'm gonna have to rape people now.
Right. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird because basically he wouldn't need to do that because he's got these dimes coming out of his apartment or house or whatever, and this guy's like a peak Chad, so it's assumed that he doesn't need to be banging these high school girls. So like Gloria's looking at it as, yeah, I don't know, I'm calling bullshit on that because that wouldn't be his MO. He's this like Giga Chad who doesn't have to be raping people. You know what I mean? Just thought that was apparent.
Well,
to point out.
Also, yeah, it's interesting from another angle is that she's a woman and she's the one calling bullshit on on this girl's story, and the two dudes are the ones that are like, well, I don't know, this guy seems like a scumbag. You know,
Jelly.
It might be the opposite situation in a 2026 remake where the woman is like, you can't question her. You can't question
really.
this. It's one of those things where if this was remade today, you have a lot of people that are like, you can't question women,
right, when
they're talking about rape.
It's true,
and
very true.
We'll go back to 1998, and you have a whole movie about it.
Literally.
Like,
I just want to point out on the side note though, this like whole idea of this movie. I'm glad that it was shot in Florida because it's like very Florida Man. Like currently, it's like, hey, Florida Man did this, Florida Man did that. It's like perfect. But anyhow,
there's a whole scene where he's zipping out on the Florida Everglades on his, I don't know what you call those boats.
Fan boat.
On the back.
Fan boat.
I'm like, yeah, I could get into that lifestyle, 100%.
Sam Lombardo is Florida Man. So you get introduced to Bill Murray here, who plays Ken Bowden. And what a great character decision to break up the tension, like in the gravity of the first half hour of this movie. He's rocking this neck brace to fool some insurance guy who's hounding him. I'm like, this is epic. Because not for nothing, this character in this very serious movie, I don't know how you feel about this, but like bringing him in and making it, having the choice for it to be Bill Murray, I kind of think works. You?
It's Bill Murray light. Yeah, it does
light
work, to answer your question.
That's a good point.
It's Bill Murray light. It's not the same kind of, Peter Venkman total Joker kind of character, but it's that light where, you have such seriousness going on.
Yes.
And then you got this kind of,
I think it works.
Comic relief. Yeah, it works. It works. I like how they toned him down just a touch.
Yes.
And it works better.
Yep.
I mean, the funny thing is he's got this neck brace on, and I just think to myself, like, does the younger generation even know about insurance scams? Are they privy to people doing this? Because it doesn't seem like it's in the media at all anymore.
I think they were probably more prevalent back then because you could get away with it. Maybe. I don't know. This technology.
Right, now you got cameras everywhere.
Got flock cameras.
Yeah.
Deflock. Did you see this? Flock
And maybe
thing?
maybe Zoomers don't even think that it's possible because the total panopticon state of everyone having a camera on their phone.
Right.
They just subconsciously don't even believe that something like this is possible anymore.
Yeah, but people can still, I think a lot of the injury ones, people, you claim an injury scam, and then, people, I remember someone we used to work with was like going to the gym. He's like, dude, I gotta make sure that they're not seeing me at the gym, bro. I got this guy following me. I'm like, he's playing this to me. I'm like, what, dude? What the hell are you talking about?
They got private detectives.
Not privy to this lifestyle.
You gotta just say it's a back injury. That's the key.
Yeah.
Because saying it's a neck injury is too obvious. Then you have to wear the thing.
You can't move your head.
All
dude.
very fun.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Neve Campbell in this movie, let's talk about her. How typecast is this chick in the 90s? Neve Campbell, this is another one where she did like a couple movies, was a red hot star, and then kind of just, no longevity.
Scream, Wild Things, The Craft.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. But she's still kind of rules, man.
Yeah,
I think she's
every movie. Yes.
I think she's a good actress for sure. But
well, yeah, absolutely. Like her micro expressions that she does with her face is just really top tier.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Yes. Talk about that later in the courtroom scene, but it's in the courtroom scene. I'll just get right into it. But I think that Bill Murray here, and like you said, you put it a good way in terms of him, Bill Murray light, and going a little bit, scaling it back. But I think this scene right here is like absolute legitimate masterclass acting, right? And it's like he's bordering comedy, right? But he's still believable. And I just think kudos to him, man. This is like such a fun, it's like high intensity, but then he just, I don't even know how to describe it. This is such a good scene, I think, where he kills it.
Well, it's such a serious topic,
right?
Where he's questioning this girl on whether she was raped or not, and finds evidence that she's making it up, and then goes full just Saul Goodman mode. Theatrical, yelling, threatening the witness. And then, the whole thing falls apart. The lies come out and everything. But if he had done it a little bit more comedic, it wouldn't have hit as hard.
Yes.
It's that he is able to turn on that serious note, and that's what makes it,
I think he's just
tracked with the character.
Damn good
better.
acting, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And also, as you mentioned, like the expressions on Neve Campbell's face, like there's one where the judge is, you have to answer the question. She's like, God damn it. And she just, again, dude, Scream, obviously, where she's the star. Her reactionary acting is about as good as you get. That's my opinion. So it transitions to they go into Ken's office where everybody is for the payout or whatever. And it's just funny, dude. This is like a very funny 90s style establishing shot where they're panning around and they show a close-up of all his clients, like prior clients that got settlements, and they're all wearing neck braces. It's like, this is so 90s style, tongue-in-cheek type thing where it just, if you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? They just, I know we say this all the time. It's like they just don't do this in movies anymore. I think it's hilarious.
Imagine if that's all it took to make money. You just claim you were injured.
Yeah, literally.
And then have to wear a neck brace for a year.
I don't know, bro. I think some people,
$10,000.
You probably don't hear it as much, but I think it is as prevalent. You probably just don't hear it as much these days, dude. I think that's how a lot of people make money. I just have a feeling because I just feel like people don't work, dude.
Were you ever in a car accident?
Yeah. And I remember someone that we worked with was like, dude, you just got to tell them that your like neck hurts or your back hurts and you're fine.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. I got to keep up with this lie. I got to go through all this horse shit. I'll just chalk it up. He's like, no, bro, you get like a huge payout. I'm like, I mean, if I told you who it was, you'd probably be like, wow, yeah, not surprised.
Well, I got hit in the back of my car, like someone fender bendered me, but it was enough to like shock me. like jolt me, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that whatever. Like, just give me your information. I don't give a shit. But in reality, I could have been like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like, I call the ambulance.
Yes.
And gotten like $100,000.
Yeah.
Should I be doing this? Should I be insurance maxing? Should I be
Probably, dude. Come to think of it, yeah, the insurance company.
You know what I
paying
mean?
it out. Yeah, sure, why not? It's a good point.
Like, what am I doing with my life?
Get more accidents, dude. You'll be all set.
I just want to, I want to point out Kelly and Sam, they're having this confrontation as he's walking out, and she says, "My mom is paying you by breaking my trust." It's like my ears, even when I was 14 years old, dog, my detective ears just fired up. I'm like, oh, they're working together.
Yeah.
The
way she delivers
instantly when she says, yes, exactly. Like instantly when she says that, I'm like, it's all coming together. When she walked out of the house, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole thing's fake. The whole thing is at work.
Did you know that the first time you watched
That's
it?
that. I don't know that. I didn't know like the level like of what was going on, but I was like, this is a work.
Mm-hmm.
She's working the crowd because she flips out in the courtroom, launches a thing at Neve Campbell. That's Susie. Sorry. And then she's flipping out here. And I'm like, this is a little bit dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, is this a work? She's talking about the trust fund.
But I think that
is this a work?
I want to believe that the director and, the writers on this one are like that in tune with it. And they're like, hey, do another take, make it a little more obvious. I think they were locked in to like have that giveaway be there. So like they wanted it to come off that way.
Agreed.
So it's again,
I totally agree. Totally
good
agree.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
But they're at the hotel, this is the scene right here. And obviously it comes to fruition that the three of them have this plan to get the mom's money. And it's like, let me ask you this. Do you really think that this would be this easy to get in with this scam? Like, they're positioning it as, it's this rich woman and yada, yada. The daughter's in on it so that you can just, wipe your hands clean. Everyone, it was a work, yada, yada. But I feel like the mom being a multi-millionaire would have someone tailgating them, like checking in on this, like you were saying, with like the insurance shit. It's like, it comes off as relatively, it's all done. It's all wrapped up with a nice little bow. I mean, Lombardo does say multiple times, like, we can't be seen together or whatever. But I don't know. Just the way it's done, I'm left thinking, okay, shouldn't be this easy. Not to mention, he's banging presumably 18, if not 17-year-olds. It's a big oof.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems that it would be, in my opinion, because for one thing, this woman, the mom, thinks that her daughter is just trying to bang Sam.
Yeah.
And made up this rape story because Sam didn't go for it. Mm-hmm. Or whatever the rationale was. She made it up. And now she's convinced thoroughly that her daughter made this nonsense up. And just probably isn't her first rodeo with her daughter making shit up. But it's like, would it be easy? It's like, another thing that we didn't think about was that when we're talking about people following them, that the pool boy or whoever who was banging the mom.
Yeah.
Remember when he just crashed into him and sent him off the road into a lake?
And then beat his
You remember
ass.
that scene? Yeah. And you're like, oh, there are people following him.
That's my point.
So to your point, it would be very risky, very dangerous to be doing this kind of thing. Now, okay, let's address the 18, 17-year-olds. You're watching this. Okay, you're 14 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? You're getting a boner for this scene because, oh my God, these women they're hot.
Yeah.
And they're having the sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in your 40s, do you get a shame boner?
I could truly say that I didn't when I was watching this last night, but yeah, dude, I don't know. No shame boner here. I still don't think it's that. Well,
I mean, if it makes you feel
no, if it makes you feel any better, I'll have you know that Denise Richards was 27 years old while filming this, and I think Neve Campbell, well, maybe it was backwards. One of them was like 27 and one was like 24, and they're passing them off as 17, 18-year-olds. How wild is that? It tracks, though.
I was just about to say the same exact thing. We're on the same page. Yeah. So it makes me feel better. Now I can have a clean boner again. Yes.
Another thing that stood out to me is like the whole plot line of Duquette. And I'm like, thinking to myself, watching this back, I'm like, why is he even in the plot, right? And he's there, screaming from the rooftops to anyone who will listen what the plan is. And it's like, if he's involved, why not just sit this one out and just make sure that, you know, he's sabotaging anyone that comes across this, right? Comes off as weird to me that he's like that vocal about it, because all he has to do, I get the whole idea, you know, the movie has to happen, but why would you even, if you're Sam, why would you even bring him in to begin with, aside from, you know, having inside intel with the cops? Like, you effectively don't really need him, do you?
Okay. I didn't understand this part exactly. I think it's somewhat tied up at the end of the movie where they show Duquette killed some kid.
Yeah, they reference
because he was banging
Davey,
a hooker
that he liked.
Yeah. So they brought him in to kind of kill, like Sam was going to have him frame someone. It was very confusing to me.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And I was like, well, maybe Duquette was just trying to get Susie to go against the other ones because he thought she was the weak link, and with less people, there's more money.
It's the name of the game.
And I was just, I don't know. I didn't really understand it. You never want to involve cops.
Right. Or just another person.
You never want to involve cops in any kind of criminal conspiracy.
Yeah, well, folks, I mean, if you're going to have a situation like this, less people, higher payout, and less risk. That's all it boils down to. But it's pretty epic. This is like the epic extra, if not, you know, bit role of the movie. I can't even remember this guy's name either, but I can see his face in a ton of movies. But it's where they're at the crime scene for Susie, and the chief above Duquette is on his cell phone. He's been giving Duquette shit the whole movie. Like, you can't do that. Wow. Right. And if you look close, you got to watch it back. But if you look close, he's on his cell phone and he's waiting for Kevin Bacon to finish this line so he can pop off on him. And he actually looks over and like side eyes him. So it kind of works, I guess, but it just seems like kind of cringe. And as soon as Bacon delivers this line, he just like hangs up his phone. I got to go. And he just starts screaming at him to the point where he walks away. He's like, everything goes through me. And he just pops off and like leaves the scene. I'm like, what in the hell just happened, bro? So good.
This is actually, I love the fact that the both of us just like this weird shit that it almost happens in the background. And it's like this actor that isn't that big of an actor. I've seen him in other stuff and everything, but he's not a big actor, right? So he gets on this movie. You got Kevin Bacon, an A-lister, and you know, you got these hot up and coming actresses and whatnot, and you're like, I gotta really
sell it.
I gotta show all these people that I'm the fucking man. I gotta dial it up to 11 for this scene.
I got authority over Kevin Bacon's character. Oh yeah, I'm going all in, baby. Yeah, it's such a weird scene, right? Just gotta watch it back.
By the way, when he's walking away, so Duquette and
Perez,
the other detective, are talking.
Mm-hmm.
Perez, they're talking, and he's walking in the background, and he keeps going, dude. Like, he takes his phone and he just like flips it, and he's like, "Fuck." He like flips his phone,
so good.
And it's like, dude, no one's watching you right now. No one cares except for two schizophrenics like us. 30 years later, we're the only ones that care about his acting at that moment. But it's incredible.
So, speaking of Perez, so it's followed up by the scene where she goes to Lombardo's hotel room, and again, dude, it's just like it's weird. I don't really know that they had to even again to just show off his power. They didn't really have to have this scene in there, but she's sitting on the bed and he's slowly moving closer to her, and they're damn near about to kiss until Duquette honks the horn for her to come out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, is his aura that powerful that he could have just got this other detective on the case, could have banged her too?
Yeah. And not only, yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising and weird that they just added this in the movie. Right. What was the point of this exactly? I don't know, other than to show that this guy's aura is incredible. But not only does he almost start making out with her, but he also gets her to believe his side of the story just by being in a close proximity with her. That's all it took.
Right.
Because Duquette calls her and is like, "What's up?" and everything. And she's like, she says something effective like, I kind of, it's not him. It's what's her name?
Kelly? Susie?
Kelly. Yeah, it's Kelly that actually did it.
Mhm.
Like, she has she's just going off of this dude's aura. That's it. I'm like, this is incredible.
Well, so I was mentioning about, reshooting scenes or whatever, but I feel like this last scene, though, where they're on the boat, Ray and Sam, it could have been played out a little bit better, right? It's like, I feel like from the get that Sam's going to try to take out Duquette. Like, again, I'm giving all kudos to Matt Dillon on his acting in this movie, but I really wish they would have just reshot this and be like, dude, be a little bit less obvious that you're going to take this dude out, because it just really comes off. Did you get that vibe?
Yeah. As soon as you hear him say, like, hey, it's going to take a couple of days. Let's go out on the boat.
Right, start from there.
It's over. It's over. Right then and there.
But on the boat, it was extra.
Yeah, so like he hits him off the boat and everything, and he's in the water, and then I like how it zooms in on the side of the boat, and he's just grabbing on, he's holding on, and then it zooms in on his face, and he's just like,
interesting choices right there, for sure. Not to mention, if he would have been knocked off, there's no way he would have grabbed that rope, but that's there.
I mean, for me, it's like, why are any of these people trusting each other at this point? Why go on a boat with them? Why even show up?
Yeah, that's more to the point. Just wire me the money,
place. Bro. Wire me the money. If you don't, I'll kill you.
Well, dude,
like, it's very strange. Like, I guess he had to get the money. He was expecting it to be there, maybe. But if it's not there, and he was skeptical, but it's like, dude, don't believe this guy. This guy is in a criminal conspiracy with you, and you could be sent to prison for the rest of your life.
Bro. You're a detective, murder. Mention on top of that.
What do you? Yeah, this guy might kill you.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's a good point. He comes out naked too. He's like, doesn't have his gun on him or anything. So a lot of trust there. A lot of trust. But talking about the money, I'm thinking to myself, like, Susie then kills Sam. Does she not need him to access the money in the bank account? Now, I get the whole thing. She's 200 IQ, yada, yada, yada. But it's like the way he's describing it to, and again, this is all off camera, but it's like he's describing to Duquette, like, oh, the money's moving in the bank. Like, I need it for my bank account. How would Susie access the money from him if he's dead?
Well, two things. One, I thought the same thing. I didn't get it. Great question, right? I'm not sure how offshore accounts work.
Okay.
But if you notice who showed up to give her the money, it was the lawyer. Bill Murray's character, the lawyer. And if you remember, he was Sam's lawyer earlier when this whole thing happened. So maybe if he dies, Sam, power of attorney goes to the lawyer. And that's how she set up with him very early on.
Did think about that?
To do this whole deal. And he gets a cut.
Which he would be obviously all about, because the idea is he's like a sleazy lawyer character. Ken. Yeah, that's a good point. So there's the movie. What do you have in your Kino rating for this one?
I think this movie is a 7, mostly driven by marketing of admittedly pretty good softcore scenes. By the time they have Susie killed off camera, I'm already skeptical of everything in this movie being a work.
Fair enough.
Right. So like the plot twist of her being alive at the end didn't shock me. Even though they rolled her up in a piece of plastic or whatever, it didn't happen on camera. So I was like, we've been here already in this movie where something happened off camera and it was fake. Right. Well, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so I guess I just give it a 7.
I'm going to go 8, dude. Again, like I said before, probably mostly nostalgia driven, but I like the script, man. I think that there's instances where they intentionally want to give away so much. And when you can translate that from paper to film, like I think that's a nice touch. Like you can watch this back. I mean, we're watching this back, almost 30 years later, right? And it still holds up, in my opinion. I think that's a W. I think that's a good movie. And, the sex scenes, all that, forgettable, but it still plays into it. It's like a hot and heavy movie, like a love triangle thriller. Yeah, it works. I think it's very well done. And not for nothing, these weren't like crazy A-list actors. I think Kevin Bacon's the worst character. He's the worst
Yeah.
out of all four of them. I think the other three are more likable, not necessarily likable, but more interesting characters. Even like maybe even
More
Bill
believable.
Murray too. But yeah, I just think it's like really well written. I think it's shot pretty well. All around, just like a fun 90-minute movie that you can pretty much watch anytime. So there you have it, folks. If you haven't seen it, check out Wild Things. It's a good one. It's a good one. If you haven't, check out our website, www.regularmenthol.com, or you can send us a note at regularmenthol@gmail.com. If you can, like, share an episode. We appreciate you listening so much. And what do we got next week, my man?
Dude, we got an incredible movie from my youth, an incredible movie that just gets my gears going. It's The Fast and the Furious,
Oh,
the
boy.
original.
Oh, boy. Aren't they coming out with a 25-year anniversary of that? Something you were telling me?
Yes, it's being re-released in theaters. I'm going to go see this in the theaters again.
Powerful.
So I'm trying to recreate just some semblance of my youth, some kind of vestige of the old me pre-car accident.
This is all just,
We'll see how it
this
works.
isn't a reality. You're in the Matrix. This is all, you died
Damn
in a
near.
car crash. Maybe I guess
did.
I'll have to go with you if you're going to see it. So we'll set something in the book for that. But that's it, folks. Until then, catch you on the next one.